The announcement of the suspension of the partial lockdown imposed on the Greater Accra and Greater Kumasi metropolitan areas, including Tema and Kaswa, to many feels like a breath of fresh oxygen into an otherwise failing heart. Others also believe the decision by the president is premature, owing to the fact that the decision comes on the back of an upsurge in the numbers of coronavirus cases recorded in the country in the past few weeks. On this edition of the Citi Newsroom, we're going to bring you the reactions or the response to this announcement by the president from areas that were worst affected by the partial lockdown, the 3 weeks partial lockdown. Some of these areas will include transport terminals, markets, business centers, and then of course we'll gauge the general mood in town following the suspension of the partial lockdown. We are at the Tiptoe Lane, one of the busiest trade centers in Accra, popularly known for the sale of mobile phones and mobile phone accessories, as well as electric or electronic appliances and gadgets. It's obvious that life has sprung back to this area as the traders are back, shops are opened, customers are here seeking to buy one product or the other. One thing that is also obvious is the difficulty in adhering to or in respecting the social distancing protocols. And so we're going to engage the traders briefly on what they make of the suspension of the lockdown and, of course, respect for the social distancing protocols. We're going to engage the traders now, mostly dealers in mobile phones and mobile phone accessories. Let me welcome this gentleman to the Citi Newsroom.
Yeah, good afternoon. Evans Jaha is my name.
What do you make of the suspension of the partial lockdown? First of all, tell us how you survived when there was the lockdown and what do you make of it now?
Oh yeah, actually the lockdown stretched us a little because we were not hoping it would go 3 weeks, because at first we were told 1 week. So at the end of the day, we were in the house for the 3 weeks. In fact, the money was just going because there was no income. We were only spending. We were not getting it back. So as yesterday that we heard the news that the ban had been lifted, we were so happy, because at least we'll come to the town and make some money.
It's only the lockdown that has been suspended. All other directives still hold. The wearing of masks, the wearing of gloves, the use of hand sanitizers, all the safety or health protocols still stand. We've come here and we've seen that you do not have any of these on. Why is this so?
Yeah, about the nose masks, for me, I find it difficult in breathing when I use such things. That's why we have the dispenser bucket over there and soap that we use to wash our hands frequently. So when a customer comes to buy a phone, I will urge you to wash your hand before you come to do business, because at the end of the day, we will exchange money. Yes, so that is the reason why, that is the precaution we have taken here.
There's another trader here. I'm going to engage him briefly on what his thoughts are. Welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you, sir.
So what do you make of the suspension of the partial lockdown?
Well, with the partial lockdown, it wasn't favorable, but due to our health and the health of others, we have to respect whatever things the president have put in place for us, because we've come to realize that the disease moves with us when we move. So in order to protect people, to let people be safe, we need to stay home so they can also be secured. Yes. So
now it's been suspended, it's been lifted. You're back here trading, business is back. What is your assessment of the day so far?
Now we are back. What we need to do is to at least protect ourselves more. By protecting ourselves is not by putting on mask or just wearing gloves alone, but boosting your immune system as well, because we've come to realize that when you have a stronger immune system, the disease can't break you down, or your immune system can rather break the disease. So we should do well by building our immune system. That is taking in more vitamin C, lime, and taking in hot water, avoid chilled or cold drinks, and I think we will be okay.
Oh, it is today that we come for the streets in this morning. Come today, I have laptop from my hand. I'm going to the buyer place and see whether I will get something small. But the lockdown, the big one are big men. They have to sit up, give us, because there's a poor men around. They can't lock down 3 weeks. It's not easy. Some people they go by day, hand to mouth direct. So can you imagine someone who they go by day, hand to mouth, they lock him down for 3 weeks? How about if you are a minister, you are a president, you are a police officer, you are a soldier, I'm a street boy. I can't compare myself to those people. Officers and those people, the street boys, can't you see this is a street business? Laptop for hand, mobile phone for hand, camera for hand. Hand businesses, we know how those capacities to stay home for good 3 weeks.
We've now moved to the New Plan station here at Circle, and we have the first trustee of the New Plan Drivers Union, John Tete, here with us. We want to find out from him, first of all, how they received news of the suspension of the partial lockdown. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you, my brother.
Right, so basically the partial lockdown has been lifted. President Akufo-Addo has announced the suspension of the lockdown. How do you receive this as a player in the transport sector?
Yes, after the elevation, it was a joy. For being in the house for 3 weeks, it's not an easy thing. It's not something that we are used to. But to reach a point, we have to just accommodate it or just accept it and just adhere to what the president is saying. And lo and behold, yesterday after his address, it was joy that though everything is not over finally, but receiving the news that we can go to our various works based upon some laid down proceedings. At least we welcome the news. And our prayer and our wishes is that we go according to the laid down procedures, whereby we use preventive methods, our vertical buckets, our hand washing, sanitizers, and the most is the nose masks that we are supposed to use. And now my prayer is that we'll be able to adhere to the social distance. Because if you look at our culture, we are not used to that. Even previously, if you are not close to your brother, then you begin to be suspecting something or have some stigma. But this is not a stigma, just for your own good. So we pray that we'll practice and go according to the social distance.
Thank you very much. John Tete is the first trustee of the New Plan Drivers Union. We now want to gauge the mood of the general public, find out what they think, whether they are in support of the suspension or against it. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you.
Let me find out from you. President Akufo-Addo has suspended the lockdown. How did you receive this news? What do you make of it?
Well, I would say, personally, I received the news with relief. And I would commend the action of the leadership, the president and his team. It's been a delicate balance whether to let the people get back into work or continue locking them inside the house. But when you look at the intentions, the rationale behind the suspension, it's a good move.
Yes, so tell me, how did you survive under the 3 weeks lockdown? And then what do you think of the suspension of same?
Well, it was not easy. It has not been easy. I think for some days it was not be easy for us to stay at home, not moving around. It was not easy at all. Only God was providing for the person, and I will thank Nana Akufo-Addo too for what he did to provide food for the masses. Because some people, they based on daily basis, they based on their daily, how they get the money every day. So what they do every day, that's where they get the money.